actually tiny. Hang on, wait, watch.
It looks big.
That is definitely way smaller than I thought.
I better introduce this before we... Well, hello everybody. Hello Garland Gabbers. Welcome to this special New Year's Christmas holiday festive edition of the Garland Gab. We are going to go completely off script today, completely unscripted. We have not prepared anything. We don't really know, like, just to quote Judy on the Hollywood Palace, get ready for anything at all. And we have beverages with us, which mine, not yet, I'm to fill mine up. I'm not sure if we're allowed to say that it's alcohol on YouTube, but we have beverages. Which is going to add to the element of unscriptedness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cheers. Nothing wrong with enjoying a bevy. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's Christmas. Are you opening yours now?
Huh?
Are you opening yours now?
I'm going to get into mine now, so bear with me, because God knows.
Then should we tell everyone what we are drinking?
Oh, it's only a screw top. I thought it was a... I'm in, right, okay, hold on. I probably should have been having Guinness, really, shouldn't I, as the Irish person, but I don't really like Guinness.
I mean, mine is Canadian. I'm drinking Summersby. Summersby is a Canadian cider, and it's watermelon flavored.
Do you know, once upon a time, talking to Guinness, because Guinness is very high in iron, that like years ago, pregnant ladies used to have like instead of a pint, they had a half pint of Guinness with blackcurrant in it to take out the bitterness.
My mum used to drink Guinness when she was having me.
There you go.
Yeah. And I'm drinking something Italian because I'm so classy. I am drinking Prosecco. Everyone in England knows Prosecco. It's a very large Prosecco because it's not in a champagne glass, it's in a wine glass because it's got my little Christmas stag on it.
Yay!
I do like Prosecco, so I'm having a large one. Joining me is this little tiger.
Oh, hi Evie.
She's adorable.
Being a snob.
She's our very special guest.
I am joining Sarah on the Prosecco Express. Mashio. I have no idea whatever that brand is.
Yeah, I've tried that one.
Is it nice?
Yes, I think of myself as a Prosecco connoisseur. So should we give a little toast to our viewers?
Oh,
yes.
And to Judy.
And to Judy.
Happy Christmas. Yeah, I've got lipstick on my glass. And thank you to everyone for this year, because I think this is why we're doing it, isn't it? We're sort of rounding off the year, because we started the Garland Gab in April. And I was telling Carly before we came on, Connor, I've gone for the same hairstyle on our very first podcast.
Yes.
A little tribute, plus my hair's messy today, so I couldn't really do much with it.
I gotta say, the Garland Gab was the best thing to come out of 2021.
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
It's been. We want this to be an uplifting podcast, but it's been a trying year for us, hasn't it?
Yep.
In other aspects. Yeah, amazing. This obviously, I finished my degree. I still haven't graduated yet I've graduated, I've got my degree, but I haven't had my ceremony yet because of COVID. It was supposed to be January, but it's been rescheduled again. Sorry, this is going to repeat on me now.
The bubbles. All right,
no.
we'll mill around. We'll talk amongst ourselves.
And who would have thought that it would turn into, such that it would turn into what we've made it. Like, I can't even. Okay, the alcohol's already getting to me, guys. It was so perfect. Everything just fell into place with you two. And it's just, I can't thank you guys enough for bringing me into it, for, being able to celebrate Judy at least once, if not twice a month, and to celebrate her with all of our viewers too. I think we're almost up to 500 subscribers, and that's a huge accomplishment for what has been like 8 months-ish roughly.
Yes.
And
And plus, it's a very niche market as well. It's not like, you know, the YouTubers who do lots of reactions to different things, or, you know, you've got like what's the one that shoe watchers, side men and stuff, you know, they're massive. It's a very niche market, and for someone who, you know, is 100 next year, you know, and passed away like 50, is it 50? We're
just
on
over 50.
52 years now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, like, there are a lot of classic Hollywood channels and fans out there, and we're one specific. She was a classic Hollywood star, but she was also so much more than that. So, you know, it is very niche, but here we are.
And I think that's why our channel has taken off so well, is because we are such a niche market, and there isn't another one like it. There's never been just a strictly Judy Garland podcast. And it's funny because anytime I talk about it outside, like in my non-Judy life, I always get the question, why? Like, why is it just Judy Garland? What's so special about her? And it's like, okay, well, you better sit down.
Watch the podcast. Watch the What a Judy podcast.
Exactly. That's exactly it. What a Judy.
No, I was just thinking, like back when we were on the message board, Connor, all those, what was it, 17, 16 years ago, and then Carly, when we were moderating, well, we still do moderate Judy Garland Network, and then we started getting more friendly and chatting over Judy and Jean, and I didn't really imagine that we'd be doing this.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And it's funny, Connor, that you and I had never spoken to each other.
Yeah.
And yet, like, the chemistry between all three of us, it's like we've known each other forever.
It really, really is, you know.
Yeah.
And I never thought it either. I mean, like, Sarah's been to Ireland and I've been to Liverpool, and we haven't made it to Canada yet, but that's yet. It's COVID permitting, we will get there. You know, but yeah, I mean, virtually we've all clicked, I think.
And this is the Judy Soul Connection. Sorry, I'm gonna go down that path. Anyone I've met, for the most part, in the Judy Garland community, we all seem to connect on a whole other level, as if you have known each other for, like I just said, your whole life. You know, some of my best friends are from this community that, you know, I've traveled to the US to visit. I haven't made it across the pond yet, but it's just amazing that, you know, she, you know, as we just said, 52 odd years after her death, we're still meeting people and connecting with people because of her. It's her domino effect. It's her butterfly effect, I guess, if you want to call it that.
And I like to think that she'd be happy, like, if she knew, or maybe she does know from wherever she is, like, that, you know, that she is bringing people together.
She definitely knows. It's all those Judy winks.
Yeah, we've been talking all week, and like, I've had Judy winks, Carly's had Judy winks, Sarah's had Judy winks. In other words, Judy winks are when she pops up just randomly, like, weren't you passing a store, Carly, and there was like Wizard of Oz things in the window, you know?
Yep. She's always letting you know one way or another that she's around.
Yeah.
She's there.
She was on in my workplace last night, so I work in supported living, and one of the boys who I support, can't say too much because of confidentiality, he was watching Meet Me in St. Louis. So, I'd like to think that she's approve of what we do, because there's so many things that are not done well, not right, or not done accurately. Hopefully we make mistakes, obviously, because often, you know, we have, for our podcast, we do have scripts and we research, but often we're on a very like restricted time frame, aren't we? Because we all work full time, have busy lives, and we often like can't remember things, and we might pull out the wrong anecdote or the wrong facts, but that's just accidental. You know, it's not like going out there making up a load of nonsense that didn't exist.
It all has to do. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we get things wrong by mistake all the time, because I can't even get my words right. I called ribs lungs in the last podcast. I said that Judy had 3 fractured lungs in the last podcast, and that was without a drink, and that was with a script.
No wonder she can sing so well. She's got 3 lungs.
That's why she's not human. That's just me. But that's the other thing as well. We've all got our little quirks, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yes. And it's all to do with the intention, right? As long as our intentions are good.
Absolutely. I mean, like, look, I mean, it's not like we're on, you know, a television show where we can have an auto cue, or, you know, we don't have little cards and stuff like that, because we try to do it organically. And, you know, as we're talking, things will pop into our heads. The anecdote may not be 1000% correct, but as we said, the intention is there. And like, we're learning as well about YouTube and editing, and we're kind of, I think we're getting better and better each time as we go along. Each one is better than the last, I think.
I hope so. But like, I don't like to talk about this, but I do because we had a comment. You always get comments. We had a comment about me, didn't we? Someone saying, he called me Irish. I can't understand what the Irish girl's saying. Replace her. And I've just come back with a little comment. But this is not excuses, by the way. Carly and Connor know I've been having dreadful time with my teeth lately. So that is not helping my speech. Plus, I also have an autoimmune deficiency, pernicious anemia, which causes brain fog, as Connor christens it, brain fog. So I can genuinely be in the middle of a sentence, come on a word that I use every day, and I'll just forget what I'm about to say. And I stumble on my words. But as Judy in her TV show, she used to keep a lot of the mistakes in, because as she says, it's honest. And I do, in the voiceovers, the top 10, I'll re-record quite a few of them, because I'm not the best speaker, I'm better at writing. Some of them I'll re-record, others I just think, no, I'll just leave that. It's used to me. Because we all have our own little roles. We all do everything. We all write, we all host, we all edit. But we all have our own strengths, don't we?
But
and that's what makes us such a great team.
Absolutely. And like, I mean, I have a background in when I say a background in theatre, like I just mean, I was never professional or anything like that, but for anyone who doesn't know, like I went to stage school when I was a teenager, and did like local shows and stuff like that. And I like to think I'm somewhat confident in it, but like, how many times have I done the same as Sarah, where I'm like about to say something and gone blah, 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 and you don't see that because you've taken it out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we've left a couple of them in.
Or I might swear or something.
Oh, it was so much fun going through all those clips last night, putting together that end of year video.
I watched the Christmas top 10 in bed last night. No wonder I slept in today because I was up late because I worked till 10 yesterday. Then I watched the comedy top 10 comedic moments again, because I sometimes just be like watching. Then I decided to watch the Love and Andy Hardy podcast again. It's just so funny.
We knew that was going to be a gold one.
And we had a few issues. We couldn't have all the clips in because of copyright, so it wasn't edited brilliantly. Because regarding roles, Carly's our star editor and graphic designer. Connor's also an amazing editor. I, believe it or not, even though I've done a film studies course, I was always better at the writing side. I tend to do more producing and writing, don't I, guys? I do the logistics, you know, the schedules. But I've come into editing, and I absolutely love it. And I think I've got better, haven't I?
I think you're great. Yeah,
it's phenomenal.
It's phenomenal. Is wonderful. It's absolutely brilliant. Carly's right. The titles you did are lovely.
Yes.
But a lot of them I often do like in a quiet period, you know, my day job, and it's like I'm rushing. I think if we all didn't work and we had really amazing technology, we could do amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, like, I mean, if we were all sitting here with like an iMac, I was going to say an iMac Pro, but just an iMac each, and what is it, Final Cut Pro and Logitech, or there's another Adobe video editor, I think, as well. Like, if we all had that and knew how it worked, like, I mean, sure God, we'd be making fucking Superman films for all we know, just with Judy.
My favorite podcast was the Pigskin Parade and Broadway Melody. I remember laughing so hard through that whole podcast and just having so much fun. And that was also one that I edited, and it was it was my favorite one to film.
Sorry, Connor.
No, go on.
I was going to say, have you got a favourite one to watch? Is it still the same one that used to be your favourite?
Favorite one to watch? Yeah, I would still say that one. Just, like I said, it was so full of just hilarious moments. And I think that was really the first one where we were all just like, I mean, we've always been so natural with each other, but we really kind of let loose, and we were just so goofy and so fun. And that was the one, Sarah, that you had your laughing fit in, and that was so funny.
I did have a laughing fit in the Mickey Judy one as well, but yes. I think we took it out and we've lost it. Like MGM, we've got rid of all the outtakes, haven't we? Mm-hmm. In outtake heaven with Voodoo somewhere.
Yeah.
I
always, at the bottom of the Pacific.
I always thought your favourite was What a Judy.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. I'll have two favorite ones. What a Judy was so much fun too. Yeah, they're both so good. What about you guys?
I think for me, it's only because I kind of feel parental over it was the voice one, because I wrote that one, edited that one, all of that. And that was a marathon one because we had two guests on it. And I don't mean anything by that. I just mean that because we had two guests on it, that it was a long old stretch, that one, to film.
Well, we not only had two guests, but we had the interview as well, didn't we?
We did at the end, to them with Joan, because she couldn't make the actual filming, as it were. So that was just such a marathon one that I feel like Papa Connor over that one.
I'm so sad that I missed out on that. Oh my gosh, Debbie and Suzanne were just such brilliant guests. They were so funny too. That's in my top 3 to watch. I didn't get to participate, so
yeah, we missed you on that one.
It was a big one, wasn't it, Connor?
It was a big one, yeah.
Let's see, one of my favourites. Again, I loved watching the voice one. I enjoyed watching the Judy and Jean one. That was a difficult one for me to film because I was not having a great time at that point. Even though the podcast was great and great fun. But I did enjoy filming the Mickey and Judy one because I had a fit of giggles in that. And I think the Pigskin Broadway Melody, because we just had so much fun. We
did. We really did. I also love any of them that we have guests on. Yeah. Is really fun because you get to meet people that you never, I mean, the only one I knew was really Chelsea, Suzanne, and Kelly. Everyone else was brand new to me, really. So it was really nice.
It was like a message board reunion with me, Sarah, Ben, and Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're such great fun.
I think it's a different fun when we've got a guest to like when it's just the three of us.
Yeah.
Where's the three of us, but it's a bit like little naughty kids. You've got to guess. We're like, we best behave.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're gonna be on our best behavior.
It's like the last one, even though it was it came out so funny, the actual filming, because it was like just before Christmas, we were all exhausted. We were a bit like, sometimes during filming, weren't we?
Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
coming off that one kind of going, oh, I don't know if there was much energy in that. But then it turned out perfect. Like.
Yeah.
It's because of the editing. I'm only joking.
Of course it is.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, she's up.
She's staring at your wine glass. She wants a sip.
Mummy kisses.
I'm getting through this glass. Do you know
I
that?
know.
Oh,
I'm almost done.
I've got a whole bottle there.
a full, like, proper bottle.
Well, Sarah's ready.
Let's see.
Are we doing present unboxing in this? Are we
Yeah.
doing it in the middle? Or
Yeah,
should we
go for it.
Let's do it.
Before we kind of show something that came today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my new calendar for the new year.
Oh.
Jay Garland.
It's a bit smaller than I thought it'd be, but it hasn't got a hole to hang it up.
Oh.
But we've got for January, we've got
Yay.
My birthday
your
month.
January, isn't it, Carly?
Yep.
February,
Oh,
Gorgeous.
gorgeous.
March, my birthday, we get
Oh.
Lily Mars. April,
Oh,
Ah.
pirate.
May. Cute.
Aww.
Let's see, Judy and my mum's birthday month is from the same photo shoot.
Wow. They're really focusing on one era of her life in that
Yeah.
calendar, eh?
July,
Oh.
Gorgeous.
and we change a bit here for August.
This is my birthday
Oh, there
month.
we go.
Oh.
There we go.
A Star is born.
Yep.
September.
Oh,
Oh,
lovely.
clock.
I've always loved that picture.
David Rose either.
Oh, David Rose era, sorry.
Well, what did you say?
I said the clock. It looked like that scene. In
Yeah, no, it's 1941. Two. Barriera. There's a few pictures.
So it is. So it is. I'm going to just blame that it went past quickly.
And October, we have the picture that's on my new canvas.
Yay, it's gorgeous.
November.
I
Lovely.
love that.
And for Christmas, we have
Oh, there's a 60s one.
and then classic for the end.
Yay!
Another one.
Love it. That's
Um,
awesome.
I was going to say, I'll just explain that maybe we did send each other Christmas gifts or presents. And Sarah and Carly have mine, and some have made their ways around the world. Mine haven't. I've got one from Carly, but we said we'll go ahead anyway because can't wait to see what everyone else has and your reactions and everything. So let's just go for it.
Well,
Let's go for it.
What I got Carly, I also got you, Connor.
Mm-hmm.
Except
We'll do the unboxing for both of us.
Yeah,
so you can react at the same time as you're
That's
getting the
fine.
same.
I
So-
do have other things so that I will show that I got for Christmas separate. So
Do you want me and Carly to open our gifts
yeah, yes.
together?
By the way, this year I'm sending both of your gifts in August so that they get here in time. Oh, at least you both have one from me.
But you know what? Look, between COVID and then Brexit and customs and all sorts of things, look, they'll come here. They'll get there.
Time. So we have these. Your cards say the same.
Yeah,
Just one more thing. Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Yes.
Lovely.
Shall
Lovely.
we do? I'm clumsy, so I'm going to start going. You ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay, let's go.
Go for it.
Not looking at Carly in case she gets it that way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Inside.
Oh.
Oh, do not have this.
I was hoping you didn't.
I
Oh,
don't.
thank you.
You're so welcome, both of you.
And our Wayne sent us a little postcard about it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
That's why, Carly, when you got your card and we saw the postcard, I was like, what's that about face?
Oh,
Who's
that's so
that?
lovely.
Who's
Oh.
that?
I love the picture on the front.
It's incredible.
Gorgeous.
That is one of my all-time favorite photos of Judy.
So for anyone who doesn't know, this is the book by Dorothy Ponadell. Well, it's sort of like, I think it's in memoirs, which were sort of were they carried along and published by her niece, Liza.
Yeah, I think it's like sort of curated by her niece and, sort of put together posthumously for her. But there's an awful lot of Judy because for anybody who doesn't know, Dorothy Ponadell was like Judy's personal, basically, makeup artist from Meet Me in St. Louis onwards at MGM. And I think even beyond MGM, she worked with her as well. So there's a huge amount of Judy, I believe, in it. And obviously she's on the cover.
Mhm.
Yeah, and she was one here, and like Vincent Minnelli were some of the people responsible for making Judy feel beautiful during St. Louis. The
Yeah.
plot. Even though we disagree because we think she was beautiful before then, but
Yes.
it kind of gave her a different look.
Yeah, it was kind of, I guess, I think Dottie is credited with kind of giving her a bit more of a sophisticated
Mhm.
appearance and kind of flair.
Yeah.
And she got rid of all the the teeth caps and
Yeah.
those things. Although we have discussed this because it does. I mean, it's said many times. Jordan Meet Me in St. Louis, she threw away the teeth caps, but I was still convinced she wore them up until she entered MGM. But you didn't think she did, do you, Carly?
I don't think so, because you
It-
can see a drastic shape change in her mouth, specifically in the pirate onward.
But if she didn't wear them, her teeth were fine.
Mm.
But there are some off, what you call them, behind the scenes clips where you can see the little
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah.
tooth, and you definitely can't see it after MGM. So that's why I was thinking that she was wearing them still in the films, because unless it's the way they're photographed, I don't know. Because in her films, the teeth look fine. But
I'd say, I think it's not just her teeth, but I think it was something to do with the Technicolor as well, because they wanted them like Snow White on the screen,
yeah.
All right, it's your guys' turn to open
Okay.
my gift. Now, I did not get you guys the same thing, so
Do you want us to go one at a time then?
sure,
Yeah,
one at a time. One at
You
a
go
time.
first, Sarah.
You sure?
Yeah.
So I've got this tube.
Mm. I've just had to remember to turn it that way. I hope I didn't show my address on camera, but anyway.
Oh, I'll probably just show mine. So,
What could that possibly be?
what is shaped like this? Let's see. You want to see me try to open boxes with sellotape on? It's quite amusing.
It's like Christmas morning here again.
Yes.
I had presents today as well off my friend. Oh,
Oh my God.
look at that. I'll have to get a frame for that.
That's
Yay.
amazing.
Oh,
How gorgeous is that?
Oh, stunning.
Thank you so much, Carly.
you're very welcome. You sent that canvas was it Stu that got you that?
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Oh no, it's different though.
I think it's the same, isn't it the same photo shoot though?
It's the same photo shoot, but the angle for the picture that was in the calendar. Yeah, different. Oh no, that's amazing.
So Stu and I were on the same wavelength then.
So yeah, I actually got a canvas off my fiance for Christmas. It's in the living room. I'm in the bedroom today. I will get that on a podcast one day, just not today. Thank you so much. That is gorgeous.
Oh, you're welcome. Part 2 coming soon.
Thank you. It's too much. I feel like what I've sent you now is like nothing.
No. You guys spoiled me early on with the Connor with your big box of treats and trinkets. So all right, Connor, you go.
Okay. Here we go. Mine is soft. That's all I'm going to say. It's soft.
I wonder what it could be.
I wonder what it could be. Well, I see this much so far, so tell me address. Anyway. Oh my God, I love it!
Wow.
That is stunning. I'm behind it. Stunning! Stunning!
I was gonna get myself one too because I saw that and I'm like, oh, okay.
I'm obsessed with that.
Oh, lovely. I hope it fits.
Oh, I'm sure. I think it will.
It looks like it might be too big, but
it probably a smidgen, but I don't mind that. Slightly baggy is, I'll just wear it with skinny jeans and it'll be a style.
Oh, lovely. Oh,
I love it. And Get Happy, like my screen name used to be Get Happy Connor on the message board. So that's like one of my most favorite things ever.
And that's what it is on Instagram too. So
Yes,
I figured that was a safe bet.
Thank you for the plug. Oh, thank you so much, Carly. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to wear it.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm glad that that one, oh man. Should we say what I had originally got you?
Do tell the story.
I actually, I saw that online the other night, what you described.
Yeah.
Well, you're telling the story.
I'll let you tell them, but I can understand why you were mistaken.
Yeah. So when I was doing some shopping for Connor and Sarah online, I found a lovely Christmas sweater. And it just, it was kind of had the shimmy, the sparkles, it was so bright. It kind of reminded me, hi Connor. It reminded me of the outfit that Connor wore in our inaugural podcast, the sparkle. It was so brilliant. And I thought that'd be perfect for him. So I order it, I ship it. And the next day I was showing my mom what I got you two. And I open up the picture to show her. And I'm like, wait, what is that? I had to scroll in, and sure enough, it was just spotted in pill bottles.
Classy.
And I totally missed it when I originally bought it. I thought they were candles, and the sweatshirt was so busy that it didn't register in my brain what it was. And this particular shop had more items, and I came across two of them. There was that one, then there was another one with Judy's face on it, and what looked like confetti, which I thought was confetti. No, they were just little pills. So
that's just tacky.
I wrote them a very strongly worded letter.
Oh, cool.
And I demanded my money back. And I said how completely disrespectful that was, and how any Judy fan receiving a shirt like that is not going to be a happy customer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is the one you ordered, has it got pictures of Judy in the poppy dress with a microphone?
Mm.
Yeah, that's the one.
So,
I mean,
poor taste.
I mean, I love something camp as much as the next person, but there's camp and then there's that.
Yep.
You know, and that's what we're fighting against with this podcast. It's like, listen, the first thing that comes into your head when you think of Judy Garland should not be a bottle of pills. Thanks very much.
Exactly. And I'm just so glad that I showed my mom what I got you the very next day, because had I not, I probably wouldn't have opened it again or really, you know, taken another look at it. And then we would have been unboxing your gift and you'd have to be like, what? Oh man, that would have been an absolute disaster.
But on the plus side, it was a very good story for tonight.
Yeah. All right. So should I open mine from you, Sarah?
Yes.
Okay.
Have you opened the big package?
I just have this. I haven't opened it yet.
Okay.
All right. What do we have in here?
So do you get your LP and everything?
What's that?
You got your LP and everything?
I just opened this bag now.
I was everything in the ignore me. Some of it was
Tell me what it is.
Some of it was stuff I've been meaning to send you for ages, some not Christmas presents.
Okay.
I forgot to wrap the Christmas paper, didn't I?
Oh my gosh! I have seen these on Etsy.
Diane, I had she sent me spare ones to give to Liza when we're supposed to go and see Liza in Sheffield, but Liza cancelled.
Oh.
And then a few others for people at the Judy Garland fan club, but then I'm not involved with them anymore. And I had spare ones. I've been thinking, what can I do nice with them? Because Diane has, passed away a few years ago, and I've been meaning to send you one for ages.
Oh, thank you so much. This is so nice. This is so nice.
A tissue holder for anyone who doesn't know. We had a Judy friend called Diane Davis Escobar, who some may know off the Judy site and Facebook, and she passed away about 4 years ago.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah. She came up on my Facebook memories there at one stage recently, and I was like, oh. Yeah,
she used to knit those tissue holders, and she'd knit coasters and things.
Did she used to sell them online? Because I have seen these.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think I've seen them on eBay, on I'm pretty sure Etsy too at one point a while ago.
But,
yeah.
I have a feeling that. Oh, sorry.
So that's not a Christmas present. That was like when I was sending you thank you gifts for all help with the editing in the beginning with my assignments and everything. So.
Well, thank you. Oh, that's lovely. Okay.
You gotta say something, Connor?
Oh, all I was going to say was I think on Etsy you can buy the pattern for those, and I think that's what Diane did. I think she bought the pattern and then was making them like off the pattern for people. I think.
Oh, have the ribbons come off?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, they didn't last under my Christmas tree, so I didn't think they'd last.
Well, I save these. I always save these, and I have like a little box of Christmas goodies, and I always save all my wrapping. I know I'm kind of weird, but
no, I fully approve of that.
I think this might be the gift. Is there other things in there in your package that's not wrapped up, Polly?
There's hang on.
There should be 2 other things.
Hang on. My hair's in the way. What is he? Oh. Yes. Now, why on earth wouldn't they put Judy on here with him?
Yeah.
What?
Always.
That's weird. But I'll take it. And that. A little shout out to David.
Hi, David.
Oh, thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, and there should be some little pictures there.
Okay. Oh, yes. Okay, I feel like I'm being spoiled here, guys. All right, what's in here? Oh my goodness. So beautiful. Oh, yes. Yes. The wit and wisdom.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
I had them for a while. I got them at the club. And obviously, as you know, I've had to sell reluctantly some of my, sold most of it to Connor from my collection. And I've only wanted it to go to, I got home just for space and, you know, for money. It's really killed me because if I'm ever in a situation to buy everything back, I will. But I've just passed some of it on rather than sell it. But
well, we're always here for you if you need to pass on any. This one is going to get framed. Oh my gosh. I love that. I love that. Okay.
Actually, it's funny because I watched Summer Stock with my friend who's not like in the Judy world, just she enjoys movies like full stop. Like she'll watch Calamity Jane, she'll watch It's a Wonderful Life, she'll watch anything. And we watched Summer Stock, and specifically when it got to that Friendly Star scene, she just went, God, she really is gorgeous, isn't she?
Yeah.
That scene, absolutely. There's a scene, we're going to do Summer Stock podcast. It's one that I'm sure Imagine gets the Eugenius shippers going. His face when the camera, you know, it seemed real. Mm-hmm. It definitely seemed real.
I've always said his he was not acting. Yeah. In that movie. They all knew that was going to be the last film that they would do with her at MGM. They all knew that it was her time to go on to new things. So his raw emotion, and Patricia Kelly even said that his favorite scenes were those in which he could be himself, and his favorite scene to film was You Wonderful You, when he admits he's in love with her. Decode that. It's funny, I was watching Summer Stock as well a long time ago with a friend who's also not in the Judy community or anything like that. And I'm sorry to be momentarily vulgar here, but she said at one of the scenes, I can't remember which scene it was, but Judy and Jean were together and she goes, oh, they were totally banging in real life. I was like, don't get me started.
Well, Summer Stock, it's a very summery movie, but it reminds me of Christmas because I first saw it around Christmas time. It was another Read Telly magazine, and it was on like around about now, you know, the weekend between Christmas and New Year's Eve. And I saw it for the first time then, and I'd heard a few things like that it had not been such a great shoot. They were talking about Judy not looking great, you know, because she put on weight, and I didn't know what to expect, and I watched it and I just loved it. Mm-hmm. Even my sister watched it once. She might not remember this and she probably wouldn't watch it now. My sister, like, my brother and sister had to put up with me watching me Judy films and me Mickey Judy films, Strike of the Bands, which they couldn't stand, and she actually sat and watched Summer Stock once and was like, oh, this is actually quite good. Yeah,
it is good, and it really, like, I read a review before that I think it was a review of either the DVD or the Blu-ray, and somebody had said that they were a Judy Garland fan, but when they wanted their like fix of Judy, it wasn't A Star Is Born or Easter Parade that they put on, it was Summer Stock that they put on.
Yeah, it is one of them films, isn't it? You just go to for, yeah. I don't know.
Sorry, I'm nibbling on something here. I hope nobody minds.
Oh, feel free.
What are you eating?
I had some, you can't really see on the plate. I had some leftover short crust pastry in the fridge, and it was literally just scraps, but I didn't want to throw it out. So I just doused it in garlic infused olive oil and stuck it in the oven. And I said I can just have it as like a little nibble.
Yeah, oh, Well, share, Connor.
I would if I could.
I have had mash before. So that's also contributing to my indigestion. So before you open the rest, going to say to both of you, as one of your presents, this is the thing with ordering online, isn't it, Carly? I thought it was big. So I'm so sorry if you look at it and go, what is that, Sarah?
Sorry, I thought this was bigger when I ordered.
Do we both have this one?
You have both got exactly the same.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
Here we go, Connor.
Yay!
and I hope it works after the postage.
Oh, I hope it works.
You might want to get scissors because I've got a habit of putting too much sellotape on.
Holy. Yeah, I was going to say. Did you glue it together? Yeah.
Yeah.
Scissors, hang on. Oh, I'm attached. Hang on. I'm attached to my computer. Just let me unhook myself. I'm not taking off my shirt, I promise. I'm not that drunk yet.
You know what? I've got a Christmas jumper. I only wore it Christmas Day in work. I should have put it on, shouldn't I?
I never thought of putting it on because I've got a Wizard of Oz one.
No. A Wizard of Oz Christmas jumper. That's cool.
I'll show it to you. Here, I'll grab it while Carly's reattaching.
Okay.
Okay. We got some scissors.
Connor's just gone to get his Wizards of Oz Christmas jumper.
Yeah, I'll wait till he comes back.
Oh, thank you so much. This is gorgeous.
Oh, you're welcome.
I've got a few things I've got to get frames for.
What's that?
I've got a few things I've got to get frames for.
Yeah. I've got so many framed Judy stuff and I just love it. I should take some pictures of the stuff that I have in my room. Oh my God. She's everywhere. She's everywhere in my room.
I really need an office, and that's where I would like my Judy stuff to go and film stuff and, you know. Have you got your jumper?
Yeah, do you want to see it now or a bit later?
Oh, let's see it now.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to hog your segment.
No.
I'll stand back.
So for your segments, you've got the same. I need that. Need it.
I should have worn this today.
You can go change, Connor. Go change. The night is still young.
Yeah. I was saying it there earlier, I've got other things to show you later, so but carry on.
All right. Okay, so here we go. I got scissors. Be very careful. This is tough wrapping paper too.
And again, like I said, if either of you have got these things, let me know and I'll get you something else.
Sarah, I've got 3 copies of Summer Stock, 3 copies of In the Good, or I Could Go On Singing. Doubles, when you're a collector, it means nothing.
I've got, don't know how many copies of The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, the Wizard of Oz.
I
have every single DVD edition. Like if it's got a different cover, I have it. Okay. All right. And bubble wrap.
I love bubble wrap.
Me too. I'll have to put it away from me, otherwise I'll just be sitting here popping the whole podcast.
I'm so intrigued.
Something over the rainbow.
Oh.
Oh.
I like that.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Oh. Oh, look at this. It's a little music box.
Does it play over the rainbow?
Slightly out of tune. Have you got one of those?
Nope. I've seen them in the stores though. I've seen like smaller ones. Yeah.
Have you got one, Connor?
I have a little small one that somebody bought me. It's not a wooden one like that. It's like, it's got a rainbow written on it. Like, or how do I explain it? There's rainbow colored words on it that say like somewhere, it actually says somewhere over the rainbow, but I don't have one like that. So no, I love that when it comes.
Okay. But I thought when I ordered it, I thought it was a proper music box, you know, that you wound up and then it'd just play in the background. No, you have to like just keep thinking it to play. So I apologise about that.
No,
it's amazing. It's
Thank
amazing. Thank you so much, Sarah.
You're welcome.
Okay, get the bubble wrap away from me. And
Are you opening James's, or are you going to wait for him?
oh, James can open James's. Wait, let's figure out which one is James's first.
I think it's that one.
Oh, that one. Okay, so I'll leave this one for James to open, and I'll just record James opening it, and then I'll send it to you so you can see it. Okay. To Carly, have yourself a merry little Christmas. Love, Sarah. All right. I just love this wrapping paper. It's so tough and so durable. Mine's like, if you wrap it a little bit too hard, it's gonna just tear everywhere.
I went traditional this year. Old-fashioned wrapping paper, bows, ribbon, string.
It's amazing.
These are a few of my favorite things.
Oh, don't get me singing. We should have a sing-along at the end of this.
We should actually.
And
Probably
then
another one of these, and then I'll be ready for a sing-along. Okay. Ooh, a nice little box. What's this? Oh, how sweet is that?
Oh,
Dave.
I
Oh,
love
that's
that.
gorgeous. It's a little pair of ruby slippers
Oh my God.
cute.
and a house.
Oh.
Oh, and of course, Glinda's wand.
That she hit herself on the head with.
Yep. The rainbow.
Oh,
And there's no place like home.
that is so super cute.
Oh, that is gorgeous. Oh, Sarah, you've spoiled us.
Yeah.
They're just little things. Like little things.
I love it. Or have a fab Christmas, this, that, and the other. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, okay.
Well, I'm gonna rob Connor's line. You've got just one more thing.
One more thing. Okay. To the master of images and to Gina, love the master of typos and saying
Yeah, I go along saying I'm much better at writing because I'm always on my phone typing. I blame my phone for that. When I write properly, I can write properly. It's like when I'm rushing.
Oops. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Connor, you're necking that down,
I'm
Connor.
not necking that glass. I was going to say the bottle, the glass.
All right, gonna move that stuff over there so I
Oh,
don't.
how nice is this?
This is lovely.
This is lovely. I'm having so much fun.
Me too. This was like a lovely evening. Evening for us, afternoon for Carly.
Yeah, it's early for me, only 2 o'clock, but whatever. I'm off. I can veg later.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to after that drink. Holy, I'm starting to feel my face getting hot, and that's how I know it's starting.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Yeah. All right. Ooh, what is this? What is this?
Me again.
What would Judy Garland do? Oh, I'm intrigued. What? Oh, is this a journal?
Yeah, it's a notepad.
Oh,
Oh,
this is lovely.
I love that.
That is amazing.
You
And
can
this
write.
is
You can write your notes for your Garland Gab scripts in there.
Yes. Thank you so much. That is awesome.
You're welcome.
Oh, did it come like this or did you get to personalize it?
I was just looking up things, Judy Garland gifts, and it was like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Many different gifts to choose from.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, now it feels like Christmas.
But what would Judy Garland do?
What's that?
What would Judy Garland do, though?
I'm scared to find out. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, this was just lovely.
Thank you both as well. Merry Christmas again.
Merry Christmas.
And
I'm
thank you in
almost dry.
advance for mine, because I've gotten a preview of what's en route to me.
You've also got, you know, you're getting your photo play, don't you?
Yes, I do. Yes. Thank you.
Your birthday present. So.
I was actually hopeful it was going to arrive today, but I'd say the post is probably just backed up.
It's crazy how they like they made it to Canada before they made it to Ireland.
I know. I mean,
in Liverpool. I mean, I know it's more northern. I'm closer to Northern Ireland, but I'm in Liverpool. I'm really not far from Ireland.
Yeah, but like if I got on the plane in Dublin to fly over to Liverpool, it's less than an hour.
Well, I know we've both done it, haven't we? It's like, by the time I remember when I came to Dublin, and I don't like flying. So I sat on I was quite nervous. I sat in and I ordered a little beer. And it's the only time I've ever drank that early in the morning, because even though I'm out of the three of us, I'm the one who drinks more regular, but I am actually not a good drinker, if that makes sense. I can't drink early, I can't drink too much. And so I sat down with me can of beer, and then it would come to say like, oh, take your seatbelt off, got my Kindle out, and then like a few minutes later, I'm getting ready to land, put your seatbelt back on.
And it's so funny because I remember I drove up like to meet you at the airport, and I walked into departures in Dublin Airport, and I'd only seen your picture at that point. I think that was the first time we met, and I was like, I hope I recognise her going around. And then I spotted this blonde girl with the Judy Garland bag. I was like, there she is.
Got to be her.
No, and it was.
It's such a rush meeting someone in person for the very first time, especially in this community, right?
Yeah. Can be. I'm a little bit, believe it or not, I'm a little bit shy with new people. Not as much now as I was when I was younger, but it's always a little bit, ooh. I hope I know what to say.
I met Chelsea for the first time in 2017, I think. Yeah, I flew down to Florida and we met each other, and we decided to meet at a mall in Orlando, and we saw each other from like down the hall, and it was like one of those slow motion movie moments. We literally ran to each other and just a big hug. It was so natural. Like I said, the Judy connection, right? The soul connection. And that's going to be the same way when I meet you two. It'll be running to each other.
It's our big watch moment.
Yeah.
She's coming on again, isn't she, for the Judy Jean films?
Yeah. Well, that was lovely, guys. Thank you so much. I feel so spoiled.
Thank you. It was lovely.
And Connor, you were going to show us some more.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So even though your bits haven't arrived to me yet, naturally friends and family provided some Judy Oz connected gifts. So I just thought, seeing as I don't have mine from years yet, I'd show those maybe. And this is not like a show off thing around. It's just, I'm just sharing.
We love to see Judy things, so.
Yeah. So the first one was, now this one is actually Happy Christmas to Me from me. I bought this for myself.
Oh.
Amazing.
Liza.
That's gorgeous.
And I felt it was only appropriate that she had a sparkly frame.
That's one of my favourite Liza eras.
Me too.
Late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now, to be honest, like it wasn't that expensive. I got quite a good deal on eBay on it, and it came from Germany. And it wasn't like promoted as, you know, the way you see some of these things, and it's like authentic autograph, and we have the certificate of authenticity and all that. It wasn't promoted as that at all. It was just like in-person signed autograph. And it definitely is, like when you look at it in the right light, that definitely is like permanent marker or whatever. But like, I think I did well, because I'm satisfied that that is her autograph, like from doing some research online.
It will be. When I was doing Comic-Con, people could buy the stickers and the certificates of authenticity. And it's just only people who really bought them were, you know, regular traders who were going to go and sell them. They're not dead common. You don't have to have them.
Yeah.
Because I witnessed a load of autographs, because I was like working at Comic-Con in Liverpool, and I was at Tom Hopper's table, and I witnessed him signing loads of genuine autographs that we didn't sell the certificate with. So.
Oh yeah. So look, I just think I did well with it. You know.
I love it.
That was like my gift to me from me. Talking of Liza, Martin got me this.
Oh, that's gorgeous. I love it.
For anyone who doesn't know, this is her, well, it was originally released as Liza Minnelli live at Carnegie Hall, and it is from 1979. So in 1979, she was the first artist to sell out 11 performances in a row at Carnegie Hall, and then she bettered it herself in 1987 when she sold out Carnegie Hall for 3 weeks.
Wow.
But she financed the 1979 performance to be recorded for album and sold it as merch at her concerts after it, but it was never actually released like to the public. You could only buy it at like as merch at her other concerts in like 1980, 1981, and that is Andy Warhol cover. But this has been all remastered and re-released.
Oh, brilliant.
That is so cool.
On CD?
Huh?
Can you get it on CD or just the vinyl?
I believe at the minute it's just on vinyl. This is from Barnes & Noble in the US. It's like an exclusive to them. But I read in some of the Liza groups that the company are saying next year CD.
Wow.
So, oh yeah, and the other camp as Christmas bit about it is the vinyl is pink.
Oh, that's amazing.
Before you carry on, can I just go and put some toothache stuff on?
Yeah,
of course. No, you're not allowed, Sarah.
Getting pain.
It was actually really good yesterday when I was in work, and my face like came down, but I can see myself on the camera, and I can see it getting bigger and bigger, and so it'll be a sec.
Take your time.
You know what that vinyl reminds me of, Connor?
What?
Her Judy's dress in the good old summertime. I don't care. The red and then the pink shoes.
The pink shoes.
Yeah.
But I think that was like an MGM thing or something, because in Annie Get Your Gun, Betty Hutton, when she does her I Got the Sun in the Morning song, and she's got a red dress on, she's got pink shoes on as well. It's like,
bit of an odd choice for an outfit.
You know.
But the red insert of that vinyl and then the pink pink itself is just, yeah, very reminiscent.
It's striking, isn't it?
It is, just like Liza. Yes.
I can't believe we're heading for 2022.
It can't come soon enough to me. I'm done with 2021.
And 2020.
You know, when all of this started, I kept, like, my intuition kept saying 2022 is when we're going to be out of this. 2022, we'll get back to normal. And then Omicron hits, and we're facing the worst positivity rate since the beginning of the pandemic.
I know. But you know what? I still am hopeful, and I still kind of agree with you that, like, when you look at the historical data from, I hate to say the Spanish flu, but the influenza of 1918, that was 2 years.
It was.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
And they didn't have modern medicine back then.
Exactly. You know.
So we're on our way out.
Yeah, but the only thing is, did you read in the news today about the woman that made her predictions? The blind woman. There's a blind woman from, you know, she's dead, but she's from, I don't know, she's Spanish or something. I think her name is Baba or Bye Bye or something like that. and like she's dead and she was blind, but like she apparently left all these predictions, kind of like Nostradamus kind of a thing, you know, behind or whatever. And allegedly she predicted, you know, America being attacked by 2 steel birds and Princess Diana's death and all these things that kind of actually did happen. And one of the predictions, according to the press today, was that next year another pandemic will come around because of climate change. It's going to like melt something in Siberia that's going to release this frozen virus. And I'm like, no.
Oh no.
Maybe she got a wires crossed with COVID.
I hope she did. She did.
Did she predict COVID?
No.
Yeah, she's got a wires crossed. The message didn't come through clear.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Mystic
Because
May.
I read something that the bubonic plague is still here,
Yes.
but it needs to be basically brought back up or something. No thanks.
I know, and I was reading as well right back at the beginning of this, when this all started, that some of the scientists, you know, what do they call them? Virologists. Thank you. Like that, I'm going to say something a bit indelicate now. It's literally their dream that this was after happening in real life. But those people, sorry, that was very distasteful.
Funny.
They study, you know, they study all these things like or whatever, but they have, I believe, the Spanish influenza from 1918, like frozen in a dish that they study. And I'm like, but they can keep it frozen.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah,
Moving on back to Judy.
I've got this from my dad.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
I love that photo.
It's stunning, isn't it? That's sort of presenting Lily Marr's era, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's an 80s. It's from the 80s compilation, and it's Decca. It's a Decca compilation, but the picture is absolutely gorgeous on it.
Love it.
I love it.
I have to explain with this. This is a Wizard of Oz, actual Wizard of Oz calendar, like from the book.
Oh, that's lovely.
Poor Martin nearly collapsed. This is for Martin. He kind of collapsed on Christmas morning because look.
2020. Oh no.
Bless them.
But I told him not to mind because like the artwork that's on each thing is so gorgeous that like I'll just frame those.
Yeah.
You know.
That's gorgeous.
So,
I can't stand the new Wizard of Oz calendars, the one for the film. They're so over edited and just look weird. I haven't had one in a couple of years because I don't like them anymore. But Judy looks completely photoshopped. Her arms are like not proportionate to her body at all. She's got a tiny head. Like it's just weird.
Sorry. Cat's bum.
Oh.
no.
Hello.
She followed me out and she's followed me back in. Hello, you being a mummy's girl? Get off my computer.
And the last thing I have to show you is I have a very creative friend. Like she's very crafty, absolutely, like into the whole thing. And she made this for me. And of course I nearly passed away when I saw it.
Wow. She made that?
She made this on a jumper.
That is amazing.
Isn't it?
Did she draw the sketches herself?
No. She borrowed the sketch from somewhere. Oh God, if you've drawn this, I'm sorry.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
Yes, it's amazing.
But yeah, that was my Judy Oz Christmas.
Yay.
Yay.
Love it.
And Liza.
Judy gifts are the best gifts.
God,
I
yeah.
know. Evie's saying, Evie's being all affectionate and snuggly at the minute.
Lucy is just being a loner on the floor right now. Hang on, I'll show you guys if I can. Oh, where is she? There she is.
Ah, hello.
Oh.
Don't stand on the computer.
She's like, I want to be on this podcast as well.
You're always on the podcast, you.
She's our honorary guest.
Yeah.
Where's she gone now? She's like, I'm not being an honorary guest. I want to be the star. What should we talk about? Yeah, my friend who always watches our podcasts, she years ago used to say, oh, she didn't like she'll be watching this probably, she didn't like the Andy Hardy films, all of them. She's not a fan of Mickey Rooney. But after our last podcast, she ordered it to watch.
Oh.
And she thought, I'm going to watch it, then watch the podcast. And she really enjoyed it.
Good.
Amazing. Pass along our thanks. Oh, well, if she's watching, thank you.
Thank you.
But she's the one who, every time we do a podcast or a film, she's like, I'm going to have to go and watch that film now. So, which is good. Must be
That's what we're here for.
Maybe Warner Brothers will see like such a spike in sales for Judy Garland films on, DVD or Blu-ray that they'd be like, oh yeah, her 100th birthday is coming up next year. We should release, her complete filmography on Blu-ray or something like that.
Yeah.
Please. Or the Judy Garland show on Blu-ray.
Please.
But that one, I don't think that'd be coming from Warner, but
Somebody.
I'm so curious to see what else is what's gonna come of the of her 100th birthday. I know we've got obviously the fragrance, and is there anything else that's been confirmed?
Michael Feinstein's show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's been going ahead. I'm convinced I heard something, but I might have dreamt it.
Because I don't think I've heard anything else.
Actually, what should we do? Should we ask our viewers any ideas what we can do for Judy's 100th birthday?
What would you like to see?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would have loved it if it's not looking like it's going to, but if COVID is to calm down, I think it would be so neat if all three of us could do something in person for her 100th birthday and film it.
Yeah.
For the podcast.
Yeah.
Either meet in LA or something and go to all her, all her spots, do a tour of her homes and, her hand and footprints at the Chinese theater and the star on the Walk of Fame. And I'm dreaming.
You can live in hope.
Yeah.
I know, because my big dream is to go to LA at some point, and you can go on a tour of Sony Studios, which is the former MGM Studios, but from what I've read, they don't focus much on anything not to do with Sony.
Mm-hmm.
They don't.
You have to ask them.
You have to ask them, and even then they're like, it's like, listen, you have what 100+ years of movie history there. That really should be, a big thing.
Can you imagine if the three of us went together? Hang on.
That didn't happen. This happened.
Yeah.
I nearly did that. Did I ever tell you this? I had to bite my lip once, and it was at Carnegie Hall.
What happened?
When I was in New York, I went on the tour of Carnegie Hall, and there was a very nice older woman giving the tour. And there was two things that happened that I had to go. So all the Carnegie Hall have this thing that anyone, whoever performs there, they're asked to sign like a black and white 8x10 to Carnegie Hall, and it's framed and hung up there. So there's one of Liza and there's one of Judy outside one of the levels of seats or whatever. So we get to Liza's one, and she goes, oh, and this is Liza Minnelli, who sold out whatever many performances that I was saying there earlier. But of course, Liza and her mum, Judy Garland, who, gave one very famous concert here, they would have used microphones, which the opera singers don't. And I was like, hang on. There was 2 Carnegie Hall performances for Judy. Thank you very much. 2, not just 1, 2. And does it matter that they used a microphone? They're not opera singers. Anyway.
Oh my gosh. You should have said something.
I didn't want to be the Irish person causing trouble.
No, I'm always biting my tongue, especially like it's happened in uni when like you'd mentioned Judy and someone would go, oh, she has a crazy life, or she has a tragic life. And I'm like, but speaking of Carnegie Hall, obviously because it's Christmas, I was watching Home Alone 2.
Oh yeah.
I know you've seen.
Yeah.
Because you didn't realise, did you, that
Nope.
It's
No.
awful.
income was awful from summer stock?
Never knew it. I literally fell over in a heap on the floor when I found out.
When they're at Carnegie Hall and she goes, all the graceless singers played here, from Count Basie to Sinatra to such and such, and I'm going, Judy, Judy.
It's true.
It's always such a thrill, when you hear, her being mentioned or referenced or anything at all in various media formats today. It's like you get, the butterflies in your tummy. It's like, oh.
Yeah, you do always jump. I like get a little. Tell you what, it does infuriate me, the fact she was never on the Sgt. Pepper album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or Madonna's Vogue.
And Vogue,
Yeah.
that was the other one. And I know Paul McCartney, I believe John Lennon wasn't too much of a fan of Judy.
Mm.
Depends what you believe or not, because these stories, these stories that he was never happy about her upstaging them, at night with that 100 Stars in 1964, because she upstaged the Beatles and no one ever upstaged the Beatles. But Paul was a fan, he loved all that kind of music. But she should have been on Sgt. Pepper, and then Vogue was the other one when she's going through all these friggin' names.
Mm.
At least Lady Gaga mentioned her in what's that song called? She goes, Marilyn, Judy, Sylvia, tell us how you feel, girls.
Yeah, yeah.
Lady Gaga honors her at least.
I think Barry Manilow mentioned her in the song as well. I was watching something with Barry Manilow completely randomly, and I think he was in Las Vegas or something like that. And he was kind of singing a song about Las Vegas, and he just goes, and Judy, and Frank, and Elvis. And I was like, yay!
Have you seen My Girl 2?
Not for years.
No, I've never
Yeah,
seen
watch
it.
My Girl 2.
Okay.
Judy. Have you seen My Girl 1?
Yeah.
Well, in My Girl 2, she goes to LA to find the roots for a late mother who was wanting to be a singer-actress, and she meets someone who was like an ex-boyfriend, who's actually the actor who played Tony in the original West Side Story film.
Oh.
And I remember going to see this in the pictures with my cousin. I was 13. And I was like this. Like, he goes, oh, your mother, Maggie, her name was. She was so excited. I took her to Grumman's Chinese. And her feet or her hands were exactly the same size as Judy Garland. And I'm like, oh. And then she goes outside and she finds like her hands and footprints.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
2 times that happened to me in the pictures. Catch Me If You Can.
Ah.
When they play Embraceable You, I was like, and of course, P.S. I Love You. I was literally sitting there going, oh!
I was cry singing right along with Hilary Swank.
I've got the book for P.S. I Love You I need to read, because my friend Laura loves, I'm having a brain fog. What's the writer called? Cecilia Ahern, is it?
Cecilia Ahern, yeah.
Yeah. She got me the sequel to P.S. I Love You last Christmas.
I have it too.
I still haven't read it because I need to read the first one, and because I had loads of reading to do with uni and everything, so I'm going to read it now. But yeah, that's just made me think of that. There's loads of things when she's mentioned. I also remember when June Whitfield, June Whitfield, Carly? British actress. She's absolutely fabulous. They were going through a load of, this was in the 90s, and they were asking stars who the idols were, and she just went, oh, Judy Garland, of course. I was like...
There was another, you'll know, Sarah, Arlene Phillips. She's a British choreographer, and she used to be on Strictly Come Dancing. But she was on Loose Women, which is the British version of kind of The View, you know, something like that. But I think at the time, Justin Bieber had been in the news for being late to a concert or something like that. I want to say in Spain or France or somewhere like that. And they were all talking about it and blah, blah, blah. And then Arlene came on and they were like, oh, Arlene, what do you think about this? Like, have you ever waited for anybody to come on stage? And she goes, well, the only person I waited for, and I waited 2 hours, was Judy Garland.
Aww.
I'm assuming, I think it was Talk of the Town, is what she, is what she was at. But like the point of her story, she went on to say, like, was that it was worth the wait, naturally.
Always is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's what they say. Like, if I've always hated being late because I struggle in the morning. I rush a bit, you know, when I'm on early starts. But if you're waiting 2 hours for me to get in to do something, it'd really like infuriate you, because once I got there, you'd be like, "I'll just go away." Like Judy, you're not going to get it, are you?
Mm.
You wait. I've had too much prosecco, haven't I?
Well, it's like Gene Kelly said, I'd sit and wait a year for the girl.
I would as well. Like, if there was some alternate universe where like us three were like sitting in a theatre or something, and it was like, she'll be on soon to sing Just For Ye, I would sit there as long as it takes until she decides to come out on stage. I'm quite happy.
Yeah, definitely. We could do
here's a question. What's that? What'd you say?
Sorry, we could do a podcast while we were waiting.
Yeah.
Live from outside.
We could do that joke then that she says on the Amsterdam album when she says she hears the Danish, is it Danish? Yeah, the Danish commentaries in the wings, and she goes, I can hear these marvellous people going, and they're saying, in other words, she's getting a handkerchief, she's taking a sip of water. That's what we could do.
Yes. Now here's a question for you two. If you could see one concert live.
I don't know where the answer is.
Go on, answer for me.
Sahara.
Except for Carnegie Hall.
Yes, let's omit Carnegie Hall.
Sahara 1962, yeah.
Yes, I don't know why I am just fascinated with every photo. There's a few little silent clips. I am fascinated with everything about it.
Good choice.
I don't even think she was in I think she was in Good Voice, but I think she has a few thingy. I think there was a bit of dryness. But there's just something about it.
Mm-hmm.
Go on, you two.
You answer, Carly.
So me, I would pick The Palace, 1951.
Okay.
Yeah.
What night?
I did any of them. I would do any of them, but a close second though, like a close second is Amsterdam. Is Amsterdam. That is one of my all-time favorite. She's just in such top form, and she is so funny, and just I've always been so drawn to that concert. What about you, Connor?
Because she performed in Dublin on the just after the London Palladium show, and because it's on my home turf, I think I'd probably have to pick that, because there's actually, I'll tell you two nice stories if I haven't told them already before about that. Supposedly, there was a bunch of fans who couldn't get tickets that hung around outside. It was the old Theatre Royal in Dublin. It's gone now. Remember, Sarah, I showed you where it was. That hung around outside, and she saw them out there, and she opened the window and sang out the window to the people waiting, like Evita, kind of.
Connor, is that in one of the books? Is it in Will's Greatest Entertainer?
It could well be, yeah.
Because I know that story, and I don't know whether it's just from you or whether I've read it.
I'm nearly sure it's been in a book somewhere.
I am sure as well.
What
and the other thing she did was she sang A Pretty Girl Milking Her Cow from Little Nellie Kelly in Gaelic or Irish. at the performance. Like, and that's hard. Like, that's not an easy thing to do.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But of course she'd be able to do it.
Of course she does. Well, you see, there is Gaelic or Irish in it when she goes Maha Vorni Sulish McCree. Like, there is a little bit in there, which, if anyone ever wants to know, roughly translated is to do with your eye and your heart. So something like, with my eye I see into your heart, give or take. So yeah, I probably have to pick one of the Dublin shows, and after that, I don't know. Anything.
Anything.
Like, anything.
We'd all go to anything.
Yeah.
But she did Liverpool on that tour as well.
She did.
You know. Did I take you some more reggaeton?
Yeah. Her name is
outside the theatre. It probably is not like this now because of COVID, but these are Judy Garland Pizza.
Yeah.
Club called More Reggaeton's Carly in Liverpool, which is just by the stage door of the Empire Theatre, which is where Judy performed. And they've got photos everywhere of old film stars, movie posters, and they have pizzas named after several artists who perform there, including Judy's.
Wow.
So yeah.
Well, we'll have to have that if it's still there.
The pictures are still outside and everything, but I don't know whether they still do the pizza. Was it you who was there when I was fuming over the Carnegie Hall concert, though, Connor?
Yeah. Oh, listen, yes.
So, I might be saying too much here, but there's a local Liverpool actress called Right, I'm not going to say. There's a local Liverpool actress who's been in a local soap, and she does a lot for the youth acting theatre and stuff. But I used to work in the Everyman and Playhouse theatres. I'm going to get proper killed with it. And she was actually quite vile to them, and she was quite vile to us. But she's known as, a local treasure. And she was doing quiz nights of a Monday in this pub, and they used to have a Judy at Carnegie Hall concert poster by the bar. And I took Connor in and Ellie and her mum when Ellie came down, when I was in touch with Ellie. All excited to see this Carnegie Hall poster. It had been replaced by this actress's face on the poster advertising her quiz nights in the Carnegie Hall style.
Oh,
it was like the Rufus does Judy.
That's defamation.
Yeah.
Don't get us started on Rufus, because that could be quite contentious. Because some people, it's like.
But seriously, for the rest of the day, we were going around. I can't believe she's after doing that. I'm dead annoyed with that now. I can't believe she's after doing that. Sorry, Sarah.
Oh gosh.
Did this spoil your trip?
No, it was just hilarious.
Oh,
that was
boy.
a lovely trip. I had such a good time in Liverpool. I love Liverpool.
I took Brian there, who I used to write to. I met at the Judy Garland Club, who saw Judy at Imantha Hall in Leicester and many places in England, met her many times. Him and Ken used to have the most amazing stories. He passed away last year, I think, but he came to visit and I took him there. I was going somewhere with this story and I've completely forgot where I was going.
It's okay.
But I have got a CD. He sent me used to his radio show and I found it in my mum's the other day, but he was such a sweetheart. And he used to send me a few things, but now these people, like when I used to go to the club meetings, most of them have passed on now. They used to have the most amazing stories. They were there when Judy attended the club meeting in 1964. Can you imagine a lot of stars doing that? And they watched the Harvey Girls and Gay Paris.
With her.
They said they could tell the Harvey Girls wasn't her favourite film. It's not my favourite film either. The Harvey Girls is one I watch when I'm sick for some reason. I don't know why. But they keep having a problem with the film and it keeps stopping. And she just tell funny stories, throughout. And she'd go, we we didn't have a plot. We had about 10 plots, 1 plot per person, and, you know, just coming out with stuff like this all the way through. And then she stayed and just sang at a piano with him. I think it was Peter Allen that was with her, but I might be wrong. No, Mark Herron was with her. I think maybe Peter Allen, but I might be wrong. There's actually a recording of her singing "Make Someone Happy." Have you heard it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have.
That's amazing, doesn't she?
Mm.
And they, you know, small intimate room, and she just sang these songs.
Can you imagine?
Sat and watched her own films with them.
Oh, so here's another question then for you guys. If you could watch one movie with her, what would it be?
Oh, that's hard because it might not be my favourite film. Do you know, I feel like one of the ones she had trouble through, like The Pirate and Summer Stock, I'd like to watch it to hear her side of things, but I also wouldn't want her to revisit trauma. But then again, she never did. When she revisited things, she always had humour, didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Regarding them, like she went and watched the viewing of, you know, the story about she went and watched a theatrical viewing of Summer Stock. She snuck in, do you know that story?
Mm-hmm.
And people were applauding.
Mm-hmm.
It probably wouldn't be Oz because that's too obvious. Yeah, I don't know. What about you?
Pirate.
Well, I was heading towards The Pirate and Summer Stock.
But I've got for the exact same reasons though. Like I just want to hear her side of it and how she was like, you know, it's just such a it's a film that's so ahead of its time. They all knew it was ahead of its time. She was a little bit, you know, trepidatious with filming this movie because she knew there was no audience for it. But she had such a, like, when she was well, she had such a good time. And it was such a role that was outside of her character that she's been typecast her whole life. So I want to hear all about that and a play-by-play on Voodoo.
And you know what? She had such a good memory. She probably do the whole voodoo dance as it was.
Yep.
Yeah. She's have to get used to filling for Jean for her, Carly.
Yep.
I think we know it's, you know, even though we don't like dwelling on the bad sides, we are realists. We do know that there was problems during a lot of Judy's life and career. But if you look at like outtake pictures and things from the likes of Pirate, it's no secret it was a troubleshoot. A lot of reliable people, a lot of the dancers like Dorothy Tuttle, who adored Judy, you know, spoke and said, yeah, she did have a bit of a breakdown. She couldn't help it. You know, she was ill. When she was well, she could do anything. She was not temperamental. She was ill. But when you see photos, you only ever hear about the bad things, but you see so many behind the scenes things, and she's laughing.
Always laughing.
And she's with Liza a lot on the set of The Pirate, which I'm sure helped her. There's all these stories about, I know she was worried about Vincent and Jean, and you know, Jean, there was all these stories Jean was trying to upstage her, but you see pictures of her and Jean, and they're always smiling, they're laughing. You know, the one makes me laugh where she was worried that Jean was having an affair with Vincent, and then we had someone come on our YouTube channel saying, yes, when she slit her wrists, the man in question was Gene Kelly. He was with Vincent. Where's your evidence? I'll believe anything with the evidence, even if it's something I don't believe anyway. Just give me the evidence.
Yeah. That whole jealousy thing, I think we've had a conversation about this in our Facebook group, but I think that was blown way out of proportion. She was not jealous of them having an affair. She was jealous because she was being pushed out of the creative team. Jean and Vincent were like together all the time, always talking about the film, always talking about the choreography, and she felt like she was being pushed out on the outside. And that's how Vincent tells it in his memoirs as well. And there was one time in particular where Judy was trying to pit Jean and Vincent against each other or something, and trying to pull Jean onto her side, and was getting in the middle.
Was that when she was asking him to choreograph her dances?
Yeah. And and Jean was just like, I'm not getting in the middle of it. Like, he was trying to be as, you know, as professional as possible, but she was trying to wiggle her way into it.
I think that's a little bit of a thing of the times as well, because it's very much the men taking over, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. And Judy was like probably the most instinctive artist at MGM. She knew her stuff, but women weren't given. Obviously, we've got people like Ida Lupino, who, you know, amazing what she did. If Judy had lived into daytime, she'd be producing, directing, writing. She'd be doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a kind of like gender thing, and also I think, as we spoke, they didn't. She was under a lot of stress. They were thinking, oh, let's take some stress off her by doing this, but it was giving her more stress.
Yeah, they didn't want to overwhelm her. She was already overwhelmed, and
she was paranoid because the medication she was on causes paranoia, which is, you know, not rational all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you were talking about some of the photos on the set of The Pirate, and actually one of my most favourite photos ever with her and Liza is Judy's on the little toy phone. And I was like, you know what? It's that old joke of, like, no matter who or what you are, if a 2-year-old hands you a toy phone, you say hello into the phone. And I was like, whether you're Judy Garland and it's Liza Minnelli handing you the phone, say hello.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's one of the cutest pictures ever. We talked about this picture on the Judy Jean podcast, but the one where Judy and Jean are kissing, but they're not filming. Like, you can tell they're not filming, but they're in their costume. Vincent's kind of in the background. Nobody's really looking at them or anything. They're just...
I think they're blocking, you know, what they call camera blocking.
Yeah.
But they're not supposed to be looking at them. It's quite funny.
It always had me curious. What are they doing?
So, Connor, what film would you watch with Judy?
Oh God, I honestly don't know, because I'm very torn. That, like, in one sense, I agree with you. I'd like to watch something like one of those ones to get her side of it. And then I was thinking maybe A Star Is Born, and then I was thinking, like, was she upset about A Star Is Born as well when Warner Brothers cut it to shreds? So it's like, would she want to see that or whatever? And so I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know what film I'd watch with her. Maybe I'd go with, like, the good old Summertime or Easter Parade or something that was happier.
Easter Parade would be really fun, because she was in a really good, you know,
space.
It's good mental space.
Yeah. And in the good old Summertime, she was.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice watching a Judy film knowing that the production was, and that was the difference with Judy as well. When she was well, her films came in well before schedule and budget more than anyone else's. And then the ones that, like The Pirate, went over budget and she got blamed for everything because of, you know, her absences. But when you break, we'll do this when we do the Judy podcast, we'll go into detail. There was a lot of other things that added to the budget. And she wasn't as off as it seems because she wasn't required for so many of the shooting days. So biographers don't always touch on that properly, which we'll probably put right, hopefully.
Yeah. But it's a little bit like what Streisand has often said, that, like, if a woman knows what she wants and is confident and is able to say, I want it done this way, she's a bitch and see what she's, but if a man does it, he's a strong character and he's commanding and he's a great leader, and, you know, it's that type of thing.
Well, Frank Sinatra was one well known for not wanting to work past a certain time and hating rehearsals.
Yes.
He's known for hating rehearsals. And it's hardly ever mentioned, just like Ann Miller's mentioned it a few times. And it's just like, yeah, he just didn't like to rehearse, so he'd just go home. But everyone's like, oh, Frank Sinatra, The Voice, like, greatest singer of the century. It's never mentioned, but with Judy, it's all like how she was late, she was this. And there's this story that she hated rehearsals. I know she didn't need to rehearse as much as others, but how many photographs is there of Judy in rehearsal? There's a million of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she's there with a smile.
Yeah.
Even on the Judy Garland show, and they were like, I mean, most people on the Judy Garland show adored her, despite what people might have heard, but they're like, she didn't like to rehearse so much with the dancers because she didn't need to. And that's fair enough, because I know I've done dancing as long as you know where you're going, do you know what I mean? And your move, you can block it with somebody else. But I've seen photos of her rehearsing on the Judy Garland show.
There's millions of photos of her backstage or behind the scenes rehearsing on that. I think it was the Lena Horne episode as well. Didn't Lena Horne want or like to rehearse a lot, and Judy didn't? And there was a little bit, not of anything, but just like different work methods or whatever. But like she did rehearse with Lena. There's photos of her rehearsing that Judy sings, Lena sings Judy. So I don't know. But I think Crosby was the same. I was reading something about White Christmas there for Christmas, and he fecked off playing golf a load, I think. And like, do you know?
You don't hear about this on his little YouTube videos, do you? It's like, it's when you talk about, when someone like who's not a fan, they'll start introducing something about Judy Garland, and they're like, oh, tragic, and she didn't want to rehearse, you know, she was addicted to pills, and they'll say alcohol, even though like
she wasn't.
We know she wasn't, but that's always thrown in. Judy probably drank as much as I drink, which is she can't handle it very well. You can see me now after a glass.
She was a social drinker.
Yeah. I mean, Lorna has said that she left half-drank glasses of vodka and grapefruit juice dotted around the rooms. It was just a prop for her.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I do. And Jane Meadows, who was in one of my favourite episodes, well, actually my actual favourite episodes of the Judy Garland show with her husband, Steve Allen. Funniest tea for two, that one is.
Yeah.
She said, in all the years I knew Judy, she said, I never once saw her drunk. She said, I often saw her with a drink in her hand, but she wasn't out drinking it. She said, I never saw her drunk. And she said, like, she'd go into Catherine Hepburn's, was healthy dressing room, and she'd see all sorts of like vitamin pills. She hardly saw them. With Judy, I know Judy was on the pills and she was hiding them, but she never saw Judy drunk.
And like, there's stories that, you know, in the 60s when she was taking Ritalin, which dried out her voice. We talked about this on the Voice podcast, that she allegedly drank Blue Nun, but like in a glass like your one, Sarah, full of ice. You know what I mean? Like, and if it's that watered down and you're just sipping on it, like, I mean, plus that era was very different as well. I mean, it was anyone who's watched Mad Men, it was like the most normal thing in the world on your lunch break to go have a vodka martini and go back to work, like, for the afternoon. You know what I mean? That was just part of it.
Exactly, plus the pills. Even Jean Kelly was taking the pills she was taking. It just didn't take them in excess because she'd obviously been given them from such a young age.
Yeah.
And she obviously had she was, as a genetic thing, predisposition to dependency.
And like anyone that ever says, you know, she was so tragic, she was so this or whatever, and I always think of when Lorna says she was not tragic things happened to her. For me, the biggest tragedy that happens repeatedly to her is every time she gets off the pills, because of circumstances, she has to go back to overworking herself. And then it's back to needing the pills because she has to work whatever 12-hour days or more.
There's circumstances way beyond her control.
Yeah.
Do you like fantasize about Judy in the modern world?
All the time.
Where she, like, I know she wasn't a businesswoman, she depended on men to manage her money, but she would have been a director, producer, there'd have been more help. She'd have probably been like, look at Drew Barrymore, she was addicted as a kid, And now she's got her own production company. She's a talk show host. Judy was being an amazing talk show host. She's been able to do all sorts of Netflix. The schedules aren't as bad. She could have done anything. Could have been a businesswoman because she was intelligent. It just wasn't the time.
I think one of the biggest what if factors that would have completely changed the course of her life and the outcome was the death of her father.
Yeah.
I think if her dad hadn't have passed away, I don't think she, A, would have been as dependent on men for her entire life, B, gotten involved with men who were not so great for her, and C, she would not have been as dependent on the pills, because I don't think her dad would have allowed it to happen that way. They didn't know back then that the pills were harmful. Judy's sister herself said that their mother never would have given it to them if she knew the damage. And I believe that. I truly believe that. But Frank was always a few steps ahead. He was a bit more wise to what this could do to Judy, exploding into stardom like that. And I think he would have been the only one on her side, and that would have given her the strength and courage to fight back and not let it happen.
He was the one who wanted to have a normal life. It's hard with Judy's parents, because I think even though she adored her dad, I think they both brought heartbreak to her, and both brought good things to her in different ways. Yes, Ethel was the ultimate stage mother. I have sympathy for Ethel, though, with what was going on with Frank. I think that's why. I don't agree with how she always treated Judy, but I have sympathy because of the way marriage went. And probably as a woman, I'd have probably toughened up myself and concentrated on my kids, as she did, even though she didn't necessarily go about it in the right way. Obviously, a different time, then Frank couldn't be himself. So I think they both loved her and they both damaged her in some way. Unknowingly, I think Frank unwittingly. But she adored her dad, so I wish she'd have lived even if him and her mum had separated. I think the best thing would have been for Judy if her dad had lived, him and her mum were separated. She'd have had two parents, and maybe if Ethel didn't push her so much. But I said I do have a bit of sympathy for Ethel with the Frank situation. Am I talking sense at the moment?
Yeah, no, you are. Yeah.
And again, I think it's a tragedy of the times.
I sort of feel that, like, say when it got to, the early 40s and Joseph Mankiewicz was going to Ethel and saying, this is going to be a problem and we need to get her some help, and that type of period. I have a feeling that if he had had that conversation with Frank and he had then been more aware of the, maybe he might have been as aware or whatever, but I feel as soon as he would have become aware of the extent of this potential problem of this medication, I feel he would have stepped in and said, no, absolutely not, foot down, like, go away, MGM, I don't care what you do, like,
Yeah. No matter what happened with the marriage, I think Frank always had Judy or Francis's best interest at heart.
He was daddy's little girl, and
this may take us on a whole other tangent, but one very unpopular opinion I have is I think Ethel is very, very misunderstood.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. I started shaping my opinion after reading Judy by Gerald Frank, which of course had a lot of input from her sister and, the people that grew up with the Gumm family. And Ethel was not a bad person, nor was she a bad mother. She actually overspoiled Judy quite a lot when Judy was a child. And it was Judy's dream to sing. She loved to sing. She loved performing for people. And as any mother would, she thought, well, how can I make this happen for my little girl? And of course, there is obviously some personal pros, I guess, to getting Judy into stardom for Ethel. But she was just trying to help her live out her dream. And as Jimmy said, they didn't know that the pills were as bad as they were. And she wouldn't have given them to her if they knew that. And I think the factor that really drove Judy and Ethel apart was her marrying Will Gilmore on the anniversary of her father's death. It was at that point that Judy just wrote off, I think, the relationship. Even though they would go back and forth with each other throughout the 40s, it really was never the same after that. And I think Ethel just didn't know really how to make it better or how to deal with that. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm not making any sense, but I think Ethel has gotten a very bad rap over the years. And you know, unfortunately, Judy herself is mostly to blame for that, because she herself calls her the real Wicked Witch of the West and has gone on and embellished quite a lot of these stories. But I think Ethel really, really did love her and wanted to protect her. She just didn't know how.
I do and I don't agree. We've spoke about this before, Carly. I think she definitely loved Judy. The thing with I like Gerald Frank's biography, like yourself. The only issue with that is, like a lot of them, it was written when a lot of people were still alive. I'm only given their side of the story. Some of them said loved just and even in Lorna's book, she recounts Jimmy saying, you know, Judy was quite spoiled as a kid. But then I know that mine and my brothers and sisters' experiences have been different with our parents. They wouldn't have the right concept of my relationship. I think you have to coming through from Judy's eyes is, Ethel definitely loved her. I don't think that's debatable. She was helping her become a star, but even people who were there, like Jackie Cooper and things like that, Josephine Mankiewicz, did say she was a stage mother and she was a commodity. And even like when, you know, during Girl Crazy, when they were like, you know, the doctor was like, she needs so much time off, and like they were like, she can't be, she's got to be back on stage, she's got to be back on set. And her mother would be like, okay, she'll be back on set. She coerced with MGM to keep her in check, you know, to make sure she was on the set in time. She had no social life. I do think a lot of it was coming from a muddly thing, but a lot of it was also coming from, you know, Ethel was getting a lot of money off Judy. Judy died broke. Ethel was one of the many people who got a lot of money. Okay, Ethel was working in a what was she working in?
The airport.
The airport when she died, not making much money, and Judy got a lot of flack for that, forgetting the fact that Judy earned her and a lot of people a lot of money and didn't see her herself. And she did offer to, her and Sid Luff offered to give Ethel some money, and she refused it because she was like a proud woman. So again, I think, yeah, she loved Judy, she was helping her, but there was an element of the stage mother. Regarding the pills, I think she genuinely, I get it was a sign of the time. She didn't know, no one knew how bad they would be. But there are stories that have come into like that. She was given us some, not the amphetamines, but some kinds of like caffeine related energy pills to keep her going.
Yeah, just to say, like, for anyone that's not sure or whatever, like the pills Ethel gave the kids were not the prescription amphetamines that were given by MGM.
That's another thing that infuriates you. Oh, her mother gave her methamphetamine. Methamphetamine wasn't around, then shut up. So I just think it's a very, very complex.
Yeah.
But it says, even as I was saying before, I think like her dad wasn't as innocent as Judy painted.
No.
You know, he was probably responsible for the marriage failing, but Judy wouldn't accept that. It's just very sad. But I think he had Judy's more like well-being of being a person. But I think even Lord said even Judy's mum saw her as a what was it, a commodity, a product. But also as well, again, on Ethel's side, when she married Will Gilmore on Frank's anniversary, it was also Ethel's birthday. Frank died on Ethel's birthday. So that couldn't have been nice. So I can understand her wanting to, you know, it's a hard one, isn't it?
I mean, it's like a lot of these things, like it's probably, the reality is probably somewhere in the middle of all of that, you know. I was going to say something now and it's gone out of my head. About Ethel and Frank. Can't remember now. Anyway.
They were so complex. We'll never know the true the true dynamic. Oh, go ahead, Connor.
I remember, just one more thing. I think that really the nail in the coffin with Judy and Ethel's relationship was the abortion with David Rhodes. I kind of think that was, I think, you know, they probably got along, or because there's photos of them like on the set of Babes on Broadway and stuff like that, and you know, and that was around the time she married David Rose. But I think when Ethel agreed that, you know, she should have the abortion, I don't think Judy ever forgave her for that.
Yeah, it's because she thought it was best for her career. There was another one as well. I read that she really didn't want to speak to her mother after she started trying to like encourage Liza into show business. But
look, I mean, it's true, like we weren't there, we're never going to know exactly, and relationships are so complex. It's like, I'm sorry to bring this up on a completely non-Judy topic, but I'm just liking it to it. We were talking, myself and my friend, about Sarah Jessica Parker and Kim Cattrall and their thing, you know, with Sex and the City, and we kind of said it has to be just somewhere in the middle, you know what I mean? Then all the reports that you hear, and Sarah Jessica is at fault, Kim Cattrall is at fault, and this and that, somewhere down the middle maybe.
Yeah. That's the true thing with anything that has to do with Judy. We're never going to know 100% what happened, how she felt about it, and it's, you know, everything is going to be right in the middle. That's
why I hate these, I shouldn't say these YouTube videos, should I, when we're on YouTube, is the truth about this or the truth. It's like, were you there? I'll quote things that I've read in books from reliable sources, but even reliable sources, they could be like telling a story.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
No, and people's memories as well play tricks on them.
What are your 5 worst Judy film costumes?
Oh, okay.
Connor's it going?
Do the Lakonga.
Really? I'm so surprised.
Surprise. Let me see. That baby doll thing in Broadway Melody of 1938 in her first scene. Ma, the Claytons are a bunch of hams. My mind has gone blank, of course, now that you've asked me.
You said the other week you didn't like In Between.
The In Between dress from Love Finds Andy Hardy. The other dress in Strike Up the Band, Drummer Boy.
Oh, that's my word.
Yeah. That awful piece of shit they stuck her in Everybody Sing.
That's one of mine. That's 5.
Is that 5? I could probably keep going. Well, I tell you my nicest ones as well.
Yes.
I would definitely say the Who dress from Till the Clouds Roll By. And if you look closely, you can see little Liza starting to show.
I love her little bump.
You can see a little bump in there or something.
She's quite big in some of the shots. She is quite pronounced.
Yeah, when you know, you really can see it. You're like, hello, Liza.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure she was 4 or 5 months along at that point. So yeah, she'd be really showing. Wow. Yeah.
as somebody said, it's amazing to think that, like, we'll say, I know she stayed off the pills during her pregnancy, but, you know, the fact that she had been taking pills up to discovering she was pregnant, filming all that dancing and all that, and it produced Liza Minnelli.
Yeah.
And also Liza made a film debut before she was even born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have wished, I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here. I have wished for years that some interviewer would like play Liza the clip of Who and be like, there's your actual film debut.
Not in the Brazil summertime.
Yeah. So I love the Who dress. I love the Get Happy costume, obviously. I don't like a lot of the costumes in A Star Is Born either.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm hopping back and forth here now between things. I don't like a lot of the costumes in I Could Go On Singing either.
Red dress, tomato dress.
The tomato dress, the black dress.
And the hair.
Oh, the hair. It's honestly like a bird's nest.
What annoys me and I Could Go On Singing with that dress is the scene afterwards in the dressing room. She's got the most amazing black outfit on. Yeah. And I know that was actually, we've got to blame Judy for that one though, because she's wearing the red dress.
But that black outfit pops up again on her second Hollywood Palace show when she does By Myself and Comes Once in a Lifetime. That's the dress. So she obviously kept, or well, it's kind of a suit, dress suit. She obviously kept it. It's like, Judy.
Naughty Judy.
Naughty Judy. Yeah, so I don't like those. I do like those. I like the Who dress. I like the Get Happy dress. I love the Dorothy costume for sentimental reasons and the ruby slippers. I love the Presenting Lily Mars finale dress.
I think all the costumes in Present Lily Mars are good.
Yes. Yeah.
Embraceable You dress is one of my absolute favourites.
Gorgeous.
Yes.
I love the Ziegfeld Follies blue dress. I just think that is gorgeous on her.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas dress as well.
Love that as well.
Love Judy in red and the I Don't Care one as well.
Yes, agree. And for some reason, I have a very strange affinity for the Under the Bamboo Tree blue thing. Even though it's not, it's like very turn of the century and kind of whatever. I don't know, I just think it's nice.
That was based on a real costume, wasn't it? A real outfit is. Yeah. Oh, I love, I know Carly agrees with this, the fella with an umbrella.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Red, love that.
Yes.
Black and red, she looked fab in black and red. And I love the...
Sorry, Sarah, she's always gorgeous in red, except for friggin' I Could Go On Singing.
I love, you know, that I Was Born in Michigan, the pink thing with when she put the...
Oh, she's so... Oh.
I just absolutely love that.
I probably left out loads of ones I hate and like, but it's just, you know, when you're on the spot. Like.
My ultimate favorite one is the Mac the Black skirt.
Yes.
With the plain white top. Oh my God.
That's
just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I've always been so fascinated by that dress.
It's one of my favourites. Does anyone else agree that Judy always looked better with longer hair?
Yeah.
That's another thing in the 30s when they were calling her the ugly duckling. It did let her hair down a bit as well.
Mm.
Yep.
Like, it's a bit looser in parts of Lissandall and it looks fabulous.
Yeah.
Her Star Is Born here at times is kind of atrocious.
Yeah, I never liked the 50s slicked back look that she had. I never thought that was terribly...
50s hair and 50s dresses didn't really suit her, did they?
No.
Wasn't it?
Circling back to her long hair, I remember when I first watched The Pirate, because you know how in the when she's in her dressing room talking to her aunt and her hair is down, it's not quite that long because she's at that point filming retakes for Easter Parade, so it was you know, it was long ahead. But then she's got her hair up from that point on until Mac the Black, when that backup dancer untied her hair and she's got this long, you know, hair. I just, oh my gosh, I thought, yes.
It's
I loved
honestly
it.
like the original Beyonce, that scene with the hair, like, do you know?
Yep.
But I love it in the bedroom scene as well.
Oh, I do too.
More contained.
Yeah, I do too, but I'm partial to the long, crazy, wild, let it down, girl.
Yes.
And then, you know, when she runs into her aunt's bedroom and she's, I want to go home. And she's like flipping her hair around. And it's like, oh.
Have you seen the difference? Have you seen the difference? Because you've seen the voodoo pictures, the outtakes, haven't you? Where in Mac the Black, she's got it all down, but there's a little bit just slightly flipped. But in voodoo, it's all down. And in the scene following Mac the Black, it's completely all down. And in the scene when she runs in the bedroom, that's obviously following what should have been voodoo.
Yeah, I'd be acting that way too.
Mac the Black. So that like kiss, the famous kiss, was supposed to follow voodoo, which was like, obviously we know was too sensual, but like they cut that out, but they kept that kiss in. And Judy's, as John Fricke says in the commentary, her character is basically dancing in her underwear.
Yeah. Because the movie is set in like 18 something, isn't it?
1860s, I think.
Yeah, so like that is pure scandalous. Like it's very improper, isn't it? Like, you know, for a lady of that time.
I think her hair's really modern though, when it's all like I want.
So maybe we'll wrap it up by saying something from each of us, like, you know, for 2022. What have we got to look forward to?
Sure.
You start, Connor.
I think for 2022, obviously the elephant in the room, I hope we are able to move around a little bit more and things are a little bit safer for everybody. The C word. I'm not saying it by name. We have the Judy centenary to look forward to. And I suppose I could just quote Judy by saying we have a whole new year ahead of us. And wouldn't it be wonderful if we could all be a little more gentle with each other?
And maybe, just maybe, we'd like each other a little more.
Absolutely.
Well, it's hard to follow that.
If I've stolen it from someone, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just very much looking forward to everything going back to normal, because it will inevitably. This will all end. We will all be together again. And I'm so very much looking forward to another year of bringing more of our podcasts, of bringing Judy to new generations, new people, new fans, and sharing her love and her legacy. Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you. And again, I'll quote Judy's song, which is very potent in the current climate. Told you I couldn't talk. She says, someday soon we all will be together, if fate allow. Until then, we'll have to muddle through somehow. So have yourself a merry little Christmas now. I just hope everybody's healthy, happy. I hope from my side of things that sorry to my current work, I hope to get a new job related to my degree. But if it still takes a while, at least I've got a job.
I'd also just like to, if I can interject one more thing, I'd like to thank so far all of our guests that we've had on our podcast: Chelsea, Kelly, Paul, Ben, Ellie, Debbie, Suzanne. Is there anyone else that I am forgetting? Oh God, I hope not.
Said Debbie, didn't you?
I don't think so.
Let me go through the podcast.
If I have missed anybody, I apologize. But I do, it's been so wonderful having you guys all join, and I can't wait to get more of you on our podcast and to see you all again.
And if you would like to be a guest, we do have a new little process, don't we?
Yes. Well, in the new year, we'll start sending that out. We have made an application to be on our show. Listen to me. Our podcast. It's only just to get a feel for who you are, and you know, nothing too scary.
Well, we have a whole schedule of podcasts lined up, which will probably take us through to about 5 years.
Yep, and beyond.
And beyond.
And we're doing every film, every episode of the Judy Garland show. We're doing all her career aspects, radio content, we've done TV. We're doing aspects of her personal life. But if there's anything you can think of, or any top tens, we do have also ideas for some top tens coming up as well.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.